The word Torah means instruction. The Torah and its stories are in essence the story of our lives, a spiritual blueprint that illuminates the intricate layers and dimensions of our psyches and souls. In addition to every word in Torah containing deep and spiritual meaning, the Torah must be personal as well. The words are being directed to me personally. Likewise, every event in Torah is not just there as a history lesson, as much as it is to reflect the truth of my personality. For example, we just celebrated the holiday of Passover, the Exodus from Egypt. This can be read as a history lesson. It can be understood as conveying technical laws of observance. But if one stops there, we are missing the point, for the personal connection is missing. The mystics help us personalize this holiday by just deciphering the code in the Hebrew name of Egypt, Mitzrayim. Much more than a geographic location on earth where Jews were slaves, Mitzrayim means limitations and boundaries. This Mitzrayim or Egypt now represent all forms of conformity and definition that restrain, inhibit, or hamper our free movement and expression. Leaving Egypt means freedom from constraints, liberation from trauma, insecurity, or pressure. This is now relatable to me and you, not just as a historic event of the past, but as a call to action and empowerment in the present. For there is no one among us whose soul is totally free. On a multitude of layers and levels, we all need liberation. After leaving Egypt, the Jews spent the next 49 days in the desert preparing themselves spiritually for the most monumental experience of all times, the giving of the Torah to Moses and the Jewish people at Mount Sinai. This began a mitzvah to count every day in anticipation. This 49-day count is traditionally called the Mitzvah of Sefirat Haomer, which means the counting of the Omer. Once again, in this mitzvah, we see Torah comes to life in a most personal way. The Hebrew word Sephira has several meanings. The famous 15th century Kabbalist Ramak, Rabbi Moshe Hecht, in his monumental work the Pardes, writes that Sephira is etymologically connected to both mispor, which means a number, and sipur, as in telling a story. A third root of Sephira is sapir, which means a sapphire stone. Each one of these are real and speaking on a different level, not only for this mitzvah, but for the entire Torah as well. Sephira, meaning a number, is just a fact. Count the days. It's simply a numbers game from Passover to Shavuos with no real relevance to me. Sephira, meaning telling a story, now it takes it to another level. This is more than just counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There is something here that's speaking to me personally, and I endeavor to discover that connection and message. Sephira, meaning sapphire stone, is to take that personal message and to apply it to my life, like the sapphire translucent crystal that shines brightly. The Kabbalists explain that the days of Sephira is the story of our souls. The spectrum of human experience divides into 7 emotions and qualities, known in plural as Sephirot. Each of these 7 qualities in turn subdivides into 7, making a total of 49. Each day has a life of its own. A new day means a new type of energy flow waiting to be channeled into the fiber of my being. Each of the 49 days of Sephira illuminates one of the 49 emotions. In the first week, which consisted of the last 7 days of Passover, we work on the first emotional attribute, which is called chesed, loving kindness. This is the origin and foundation of all human interactions. It is both giving and receiving. It allows us to reach above and beyond ourselves, to experience another person, and to allow that person to experience us. It is the tool by which we learn to experience the highest reality, Almighty God. This week, we move to the second emotional attribute, which is gevura, discipline, restraint, and justice. This discipline, gevura, is the channel through which we express love. Although it holds back, it's what allows the love to be fruitful and not harmful, for it gives our life and love direction and focus. Another aspect of gevura is respect and awe. For more than anything else, healthy love requires respect for the one that you love. Today, the second day of the second week, is gevura shebigvura, gevura within gevura, discipline within discipline. This calls on me and you to really familiarize ourselves with our own relationship with discipline. We ask ourselves, in my personal life, do I have too much or too little? Am I all over the place and disorganized, or too fussy when something is out of perfect order? Am I communicating my love for someone else in a healthy or unhealthy manner? And most importantly, what am I going to do to improve in this area? None of us are masters at this. This is a process of growth that we take day by day. Let us try and work to improve and turn each day from a number to a story to my story. I wish you a good Shabbos and a good Chodesh.